A multiple of a number can be divided by that number without leaving a remainder. So the first 5 multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16 and 20. These numbers can be divided by 4 without leaving a remainder because they're numbers that are in the 4 times table. So the first 5 multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20 and 25. Now a common multiple of 2 numbers can be divided by both numbers without leaving a remainder. So 20 is a common multiple of 4 and 5. 20 is the lowest common multiple of 4 and 5 because it's the lowest number that's in both the 4 and the 5 times tables. It can be divided by both numbers without leaving a remainder, because 20 divided by 4 is 5 and 20 divided by 5 is 4. Now 40 is a common multiple of 4 and 5 because 40 can be divided by 4 to get 10 with no remainder, and it can be divided by 5 to get 8 with no remainder. 8 is not a common multiple of 4 and 5. 8 can be divided by 4 to get 2 with no remainder, so 8 is a multiple of 4, but 8 divided by 5 is 1 remainder 3. So, because 8 can't be divided by 5 without leaving a remainder, because 8 is not in the 5 times table, it's not a multiple of 5, so 8 is not a common multiple of 4 and 5. Now, we need to answer true or false. 48 is a common multiple of 3 and 8. To see if that's true, we need to divide 48 by 3 and by 8, and if we don't get a remainder, then it is a common multiple. So, for 48 divided by 3, we can use short division. 4 divided by 3 is 1 remainder 1, and 18 divided by 3 is exactly 6, with no remainder at the end. Now, we also know that 48 divided by 8 is exactly 6 with no remainder, because 6 times 8 is 48. So, because we don't get a remainder, we know that it's true that 48 is a common multiple of 3 and 8. Now, we need to find if 104 is a common multiple of 8 and 9. So, first, let's divide 104 by 8. 1 is less than 8, so if we take the first 2 digits together, 10 divided by 8 is 1 remainder 2, because 1 times 8 is 8, and then we need 2 more to get to 10. And now, 24 divided by 8 is 3, with no remainder. So, we know that 104 is a multiple of 8. But we need to find out if it's a common multiple of 8 and 9. Now 104 divided by 9 is 11 remainder 5, because 11 times 9 is 99, but we need 5 more to get to 104. So, because we get a remainder at the end, we know that it's not a common multiple of 8 and 9, because 104 is not a multiple of 9. It's not in the 9 times table. Now, we need to find if 24 is a common multiple of 6 and 7. 24 can be divided by 6 with no remainder. That's 4 because 4 times 6 is exactly 24. But 24 divided by 7 is 3 remainder 3. 24 is not in the 7 times table. It's not a multiple of 7, so that's false. So first, we had to find out if 48 was a common multiple of 3 and 8. That's true, because if we count up in 3s, we get to 48. The 16th multiple of 3 is 48. And if we count up in 8s, we get to 48 as well. Then we had to find out if 104 is a common multiple of 8 and 9. If we count up in 8s, the 13th multiple of 8 is 104, but If we count up in nines, we go from 99 to 108 without saying 104. So, because it's not a multiple of 9, it's not a common multiple of both numbers. Then we had to find if 24 was a common multiple of 6 and 7. We saw that it's a multiple of 6 because it's in the 6 times table, but it's not in the 7 times table, so it's not a common multiple. So now we need to answer true or false. 24 is the lowest common multiple of 4 and 6. So we can write out multiples of 4 up to 24, and we can write out multiples of 6 up to 24 as well. We can see that though 24 is a common multiple because it's in both times tables, it's not the lowest common multiple. It's not the lowest number that's in both times tables, so that's false. Now, 36 is the lowest common multiple of 6 and 9. To see if that's true, we can write out multiples of 6 up to 36 and multiples of 9 up to 36. Again, we can see that it's a common multiple because it's in both times tables. And again, we can see that it's not the lowest common multiple because 18 is also in both times tables, and 18 is lower or less than 36. So again, it's false.